So yes, Ohio State lost to Rutgers. Yeah, that's basically how we're gonna start it off on a bad note, at least for me. You have a very nice breath there.
Sorry.
We're gonna move on to predictions, is what we do best here on this show, as you know. And we're gonna start with the 8 seed Michigan going up against the 9 seed Illinois in the first game of the second round. I'm gonna pick Michigan in this game. I know Illinois was on a good run to end the season, but like Ohio State, they lost to Rutgers, and I feel like that loss just, they're probably not feeling good about themselves. I think Michigan has the mental edge heading into this game.
Well, you could say that, but seeing that their plane literally crashed / went off the side at the end of, I mean, look, this team is up for grabs. You got an 8 and a 9 seed. I realize it's out of 14 teams, but the truth is, this game's up for grabs. Michigan isn't the greatest that they've been in a long time. It's been quite a while. I would say, though, that Illinois is just like Rutgers. They don't have anything to lose. Illinois thinks thought they have a shot and they lose to Rutgers. Their tournament hopes are over. Their only hopes to make it is by beating Michigan and then winning out. So Michigan, I don't know. I feel like the winner of this team is one of them's going to make it to the tourney.
Alright, the next game we have the Michigan State Spartans against the team who won today over Nebraska, the 13-seeded Penn State Nittany Lions. As much as I'd like to see Penn State win this game, as I'm not a big lover of Michigan State, I just don't think it's going to happen. Miles Bridges, the freshman, is playing fantastic as of late. I think Penn State might stay in for a while, but in the end, Michigan State's just going to pull away.
So Michigan State, they're a team that can beat the best and lose to the worst. You could say that almost about every team in the Big Ten, but they've done it this year. Michigan State had a horrible start to the season and a phenomenal end. I'm going to pick Michigan State in this one.
Alright. Next game we have is the 7-seeded Iowa Hawkeyes against the 10-seeded Indiana Hoosiers. Personally, I think Indiana's going to win this game. They came off against a shootout against Ohio State, which they barely squeaked out of. And kind of like Michigan State, like you said, they can beat the best and lose to the worst. Again, they have not had a good season. 17-14. They have a couple quality wins, but without winning the Big Ten tournament, I cannot see them in it in the NCAA tournament. And as for Iowa, I mean, they just been a little too inconsistent for me to pick them. So I'm gonna pick Indiana in an upset.
Oh boy. Let's go Iowa here. Iowa's kind of the creep team of the Big Ten basketball. Not meaning that they're creepy like they're, black and yellow is kind of creepy, but if you think about Iowa, they're a team that's been really, really silent in the media. I think they're going to creep up. I think they're going to do well. I got them winning this game.
The next game we have, a very interesting one to say the least. The number 6-seeded Northwestern Wildcats against the number 14-seeded Rutgers Scarlet Knights, much as it pains me to say the game just ended.
Yeah.
I think Northwestern is going to win this game, but it'll be very close. I think it'll be another nail-biter, like it was a couple weeks ago when these two teams played at Welsh Ryan Arena. I think Rutgers is going to come out swinging. They have a lot of momentum over a victory against Ohio State, a team that was, trying to make a deep run in this tournament. And like you said, with a couple other teams, they have nothing to lose here. They can spoil some teams' NCAA tournament hopes. And for Northwestern, I don't think they have really much to lose either. Even if they lose this game, they're probably still in the NCAA tournament. But then again, it is Rutgers, so if they lose this game, I'd be biting my nails on selection day. But I think they're going to win.
So you're saying you have Northwestern winning this game?
Yeah.
By how much?
By a good 6.
By 6. So Northwestern is here's the thing. Northwestern is a 6 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the history of the Big Ten Conference tournament, the lowest seed to ever win was a 6 seed. So, do they have a chance historically? They do. But they've never been to a championship game. They're like the only like original team in the Big Ten, which is actually the Big 11, to not make it to a championship game. So, I mean, the odds are against them. But if this is a year to do it, I mean, this is the year. I will say this though. They've been doing this since probably late 90s, right? So the number 1 seed generally wins it. I honestly hate to say it. And usually it's a 1 versus 4, a 1 versus 2. Once, Northwestern made it past the first round. So I feel like they're going to win this game, but I don't know about the rest.
Alright, so that concludes our predictions of the second round of the Big Ten tournament, which is starting tomorrow. Let's start predicting the third round now. First game that at least I have, and I believe we both have, Michigan versus Wisconsin. And Michigan, the 8 seed, Purdue, not Wisconsin. Purdue 1 seed versus Michigan 9 seed. These two teams had an amazing regular season against each other. Michigan actually whooped on Purdue not too long ago. Now, Purdue being the outright regular season champs, there was no co-champions this year, which I kind of like that. There's one true champion. I think it's going to be a great game, honestly. In the end, I think Purdue's just going to come out. Caleb Swanigan, they're going to be spamming him in the post. But again, for Michigan. Oh my goodness, Wagner. Yeah, he might be a bit of a surprise. But I think just in the end, it's going to be Purdue's too big for Michigan.
So assuming Purdue and Michigan play?
Yeah.
I guess if that's what I have to pick, I'm going to say Purdue. Easy.
Alright, the next game that we have will be the number 4 seeded Minnesota Golden Gophers against the number 5 seeded Michigan State Spartans. I think this will be definitely the best game of the second round. These two teams, again, had an interesting regular season.
In the quarterfinals?
Yeah. Again, I think this is going to be a great game. They had an amazing game at Minnesota, and then Michigan State just blew them out. However, Minnesota is one of the hottest teams in the nation. Michigan State may not even make the tournament this year. I don't know if anyone notices, but they're only 18-13. If they lose this game, there's a good chance they may not make it. Having said that, I say Minnesota's going to win this game. They're going to keep up with that hot streak. I think they might make a deep run.
Minnesota has a chance to make it to the conference championship. They're a high caliber Big Ten team this year. They're on an amazing hot streak too. So I got Minnesota going as far as at least
Oh yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later. But let's get on to the next game. For me, it's the number 2 seeded Wisconsin against the number 10 seeded Indiana. But you have it as Wisconsin against the 7 seeded Iowa. So I'll give my take first, and then you can give your take. I think Wisconsin's going to win this game. Again, if Iowa wins, though, I think it'll be a really close game. But I think Wisconsin has the winning formula against Indiana, and they're going to pull it off.
I think Wisconsin's got the win either way. I really do. So, regardless of who makes it,
Alright, the next game we have here, this is a bit of an interesting one, but the number 3 Maryland Terrapins, for me, this is how it would be according to my predictions, against the number 6 seeded Northwestern Wildcats. Well, the Wildcats have basically locked up a tournament spot in my mind and pretty much everyone else's mind, and they could really use this win. Having said that, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it'd be really close, but I think Melo Trimble's just going to do too much, and Maryland is going to beat Northwestern.
So, assuming Northwestern gets past Rutgers, believe they can easily too. If they play like the team they really are, you're going to smoke them. But I'm going to say that Northwestern has the ability to win this game. I want to pick with my heart here. I think Northwestern's going to the conference semifinal.
All right, let's move to the semifinals. As you said, we have, in my book, and I think your book too, the number 1 seeded Purdue Boilermakers against the number 4 seeded Minnesota Golden Gophers. Now, I think we both have 1, 2, 3, and 4 moving on, but those are pretty wise predictions in my book. Having said that, again, Michigan State and Northwestern could easily make it as well, but I think it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in this game, a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I think Minnesota's going to beat Purdue. I've seen the weaknesses of Purdue, alright? I couldn't tell you what they are, but they have weaknesses. I know they do. I think Minnesota's the team that's going to exploit them. I think Minnesota is going to pull off an upset and make it to the conference championship.
I mean, the way it goes, if Minnesota's clicking on all cylinders, they can win the conference tournament.
Yeah.
They've got the freshman ability, so they have at like 5 and 6, like the 5th and 6th best player playing at a 3 and 4 year starter, like NBA draft second year type guy. So as long as they can keep that up and don't buckle under pressure, that's the thing. I think the experienced teams do the best in the conference. So Minnesota's going to lose here, and that's what I'm picking.
All right, so the game I have is number 2 Wisconsin against the number 3 seeded Maryland. Now, I know you have them against Northwestern. We'll let you talk about that. I have a feeling where you're going with that, and I already know the point you're going to make. I think Maryland's going to win this game, honestly. Wisconsin has gotten blown out a couple times here in the last couple weeks. One against Ohio State, and I guess you could call it a blowout at home against Northwestern. I just don't feel as if anyone's going to be able to stop Maryland's three-point shooting and really just their depth overall. They're really deep at the point guard position, and they're really deep down low too. So I think Maryland and their amazing three-point shooting is going to get them to the Big Ten championship against Minnesota.
Okay, you got Minnesota going.
Minnesota and Maryland in the championship.
Yeah, okay. So this semifinal game is on CBS. Let's assume that Northwestern plays Maryland and beats them. And the reason why I said I got Northwestern versus Wisconsin is because Maryland's going to have to beat Northwestern twice on a big stage, and it's tough to beat 2 good teams in a row. You see it with Duke, UNC. You see it with the upper echelon of the Big East as well. And it's tough for them to beat the two. So I think Northwestern could beat Maryland. If Northwestern gets to Wisconsin, we're going to have the exact same effect. It's going to be Northwestern having to top Wisconsin again, although they beat Wisconsin handily at Wisconsin. So Wisconsin's going to have to come into the game knowing, hey, we got to do something drastically different against this defense last time, because Northwestern's defense is one of the best defenses in all of college basketball, in the top 5% of the nation. So I'm going to say that if Northwestern does win, if Northwestern makes it to Wisconsin, they got a good shot at it. Unfortunately, I have to pick Northwestern winning this as well. And I know from the beginning of the video, you didn't think I was going to put Northwestern in the championship, but I'm going to.
I had no doubt. We're moving on to the championship game, at least for me. I believe we both have Minnesota in there, and the only difference is, of course, Maryland and Northwestern. And
no, actually, I picked Purdue to beat Minnesota.
Oh, never mind that. We both have 2 different teams in the championship.
Yeah.
I think, oh man,
Purdue Northwestern would just be amazing, wouldn't it?
I didn't think heading into this conference tournament, like when I first saw the conference tournament bracket, I didn't think I'd be saying that Minnesota and Maryland are
Minnesota's number 4. I mean, they're amazing.
But I couldn't imagine myself saying that Minnesota and Maryland would meet up in the championship game. These are the two most under-the-radar teams, unless you're watching Scott Van Pelt Sports Center, which obviously he highlights Maryland because he's a Maryland fan, but... Excuse me. I think Minnesota is going to win the Big Ten championship this year. I really do. They're just so deep, and again, these are two teams with great depth, but I think Minnesota's depth is just going to be way too much for Maryland. I think it's going to be a fantastic game, however. You know, you combine Minnesota and Maryland's depth, and Minnesota's inside play, Maryland's outside play. It's going to be a fantastic game, but I think Minnesota is going to end up winning the Big Ten Conference Championship. Tournament championship, that is.
Okay. In recent years, like in the last 10 years, there has been a number 1 seed in the tournament. So, more than likely, the number 1 seed will make it in. Because the way the tournament bracket is set up, we get a double bye, and the teams that are playing, if say for instance, you know, a bottom 4 team gets past the second round, it's going to be their 3rd day in a row to play basketball. So I can see how the number 1 seed would win. Neither of us have the number 1 seed in there, except for me, for Purdue. So Michigan State, I've got Northwestern winning the tournament, obviously. Not just because they're my team, but this is the year for them. So, with that said, Michigan State's going to be the dark horse. If there's a team that could come out of so-called nowhere, it's going to be the Spartans. Look, Tom Izzo is a Hall of Fame college basketball coach. I think it's going to be Northwestern, but if it's not Northwestern, my bracket's going to be busted tomorrow, and Michigan State's going to probably do well.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching this video. Again, I will put out these college football videos the next couple of weeks. I know they'll all be in the wake of March Madness. But I know right after that, you college sports fans will be looking towards football, as I do every year as well. So, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Any last words, people at home?
Hey, look, go in you, and with that I say, Daddy-O out.
Alright. See you next week where we will preview the full NCAA tournament.